This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this news comes from London. And the Met Police have broke records again with a seizure of cryptocurrencies. They don't specify which currency. It could be a lot of different currencies. It could just be Bitcoin. But they have seized £180 million worth of these coins. And of course, there is nothing to physically show due to the fact that it's a digital asset. But they say that it's one of the largest in the world that has been seized. And this follows our coverage as well of 114 million that was seized by the Met Police on the 24th of June. The seizures were made by the Metropolitan Police Economic Crime Command on the back of intelligence received about the transfer of illegal assets. They form part of an ongoing investigation into an international money laundering ring, and a 39-year-old woman was arrested on suspicion of offences, and she was released on bail. And the same woman was cautioned in relation to the 180 million that was discovered on the 10th of July. She has been bailed to a later date in July. So Jesus Christ, that's like £300 million this one woman is responsible for losing. And this comes only a month after the first time that they found it, so they must have been doing a lot of forensic analysis of her accounts and found that she'd been doing this before. And in relation to the first offence, this was record-breaking at the time as well, last month, and she seems to have kept doing that consecutively. This is in relation to criminals being able to move large amounts of money without being questioned. Usually they would have to send it abroad on a plane in a suitcase. And of course, this results in a lot of people getting money seized and criminals losing money. So to just send it in cryptocurrency, because you can send any amount of cryptocurrency, no alarm bells are going to be rung if you're sending a large amount, as opposed to if you used a bank account. And the police are definitely clamping down worldwide on people trying to abuse cryptocurrencies to launder money. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easier to do. Everything is kept on a ledger, every transaction. So in reality, it's very difficult to be able to do a transaction on Bitcoin without being detected. And because of this, companies were created. For example, one called Bitcoin Fog. They was alleged to have laundered back in April 336 million in Bitcoin. They offered a service that would basically encrypt it so nobody could be exactly sure where it was put in and where it was taken out, and that way they could avoid certain taxes and they could commit more criminal offences. The IRS were trying to identify the owner of this site, and they identified a Russian-Swedish administrator who was running the anonymizing system and laundering hundreds of millions of pounds on a commission basis. They say he'd been doing this for over a decade, and you can imagine the price that Bitcoin has increased in that time. And US authorities on Tuesday arrested Roman Sterlingov in Los Angeles, according to court records, and they charged him with laundering more than 1.2 million Bitcoins. And they were worth 336 million at the time of the payments, over 10 years ago. So the price of them Bitcoins now would actually be astronomical. According to the IRS, the Criminal Investigation Division found that Sterlingov was a citizen of Russia and Sweden, and he allowed users to blend transactions with others to prevent anyone examining the Bitcoin blockchain and tracing individual payments. He took commissions of 2% to 2.5%. The IRS calculates, and they say that Sterlingov made 8 million worth in Bitcoin through the service, based on exchange rates at the time of each transaction. And that is before factoring in the massive appreciation over the past decade. The servers that he was using in 2011 were part of the IRS's evidence in the trial. This, they say, is an example. The transparency of cryptocurrency can actually make it easier for the police to find out who has been committing crime. He was running the Bitcoin exchange since 2011, and he used a pseudonym that meant Happy New Year in Japanese. In a post on a Bitcoin forum, he advertised Bitcoin Fog as a way to mix up your Bitcoins in a pool and with other users. According to the complaint by the IRS, they say that it can eliminate any chance of being able to trace the payment or where he withdrew it. They say that at least £78 million worth of this money transferred through the narcotic-selling dark web markets like Silk Road, Agora and Alphabet. The IRS appears to have undercover agents in 2019 transact with Bitcoin Fog, in one case sending messages to the administrator, and stated that they hoped to launder proceeds from selling ecstasy. Bitcoin Fog completed the user's transaction without a response. Most remarkable, however, the IRS tracked down Sterlingov using the same blockchain analysis that his own service was meant to have defeated. They say that he allegedly paid for the server hosting of Bitcoin Fog at one point in 2011 that is now defunct cryptocurrency called Liberty Reserve. It goes on to say that blockchain evidence identified his purchase on the Liberty Reserve currency with Bitcoins, and he first exchanged euros for Bitcoins and the early cryptocurrency exchange, Mr. Gox. And then he moved the Bitcoins through several subsequent addresses and finally traded them on another cryptocurrency exchange called Liberty Reserve Funds. And that is where he set up the Bitcoin Fog domain. So it's so weird that even going back as far as 10 years ago, they're able to trace what is left on the ledgers. So however much it has been used as an untraceable transaction method, in the same way it has actually revealed a lot of the transactions. The blockchain ledger of all Bitcoin transactions since the creation of the currency serves as a way to be able to find people very efficiently. All the police have to do is follow the money. So I thought that was quite an interesting story and another big development, and shows that the police are definitely trying to counteract criminals using cryptocurrencies to bypass the normal methods of moving money around. So I really appreciate you joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.